Hi, I'm going to do my first reaction video. I'm going to do a reaction video of Disney jerks.
Oh hi, it's Chad here from Blue Tunes, and we have reached it. The final video of Disney Month.
Yep. Toon Top 10 with Chad. Yep. This is where the video starts.
Okay, Gretel, what have we got on the docket for today? Wait a second, I just remembered Gretel is on vacation, but she did send me something. I wonder what it is. Oh, cool, it's Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah,
one of the best Disney sequels of all time.
Yeah, I really love Rescuers Down Under. It is a sequel to the 1977 movie The Rescuers. I especially love George C. Scott as Percival McLeach.
And she sent us a note too. Let's give it a read.
Dear Chad, vacation's going great. It's one of the most exotic and beautiful places I've ever been to. Skyscrapers, deep dish pizza, and I hear The Dark Knight was filmed here. In honor of the second countdown for Disney Month, I've left you a gift. You really should give the sequels a fair shot. See you soon, Gretel.
Oh, what a sweetheart. But Gretel's right. Outside of the Pixar sequels, I've hardly seen any Disney sequels, aside from this one and a couple of others. But hey, if they're all as good as Rescuers Down Under, then I think they're worth a watch. So why don't we spend the day and count down the top 10 Disney sequels? Now, if I'm going to make this list, I've got a lot of...
Let's skip the sequels. Get to the actual video.
Yep, that's a much better idea. So let's not hang around here for too much longer. Let's have a cheers and dive in. Now, before we get going, let's talk about being a jerk. When it comes to Disney villains, well, they're...
Yeah, there were a lot of jerky characters. Yeah, there were a lot of jerky Disney characters that I noticed in this video. I haven't. Yeah.
Bad guys, you could call them all jerks. But let me explain the kind of characters that I want to include on this list. At first I wanted to call this list the top 10 Disney assholes, but I was a little concerned with how YouTube would handle that title. So what defines a jerk in a Disney movie? Well, these kinds of characters are cocky, self-obsessed, petty, rude, and often bullies. Jerkism, if you will, is mostly defined by attitude. So maybe you meticulously planned the murder of your own brother in front of his kid. Even still, you won't find Scar on this list. This isn't a list of Disney characters who did the worst things or killed the most people. It simply comes back to attitude. So while I'm sure there are going to be plenty of character leave-outs that are going to bring me some flames, just try to think of it this way. Was being a jerk a defining characteristic of this character? So with that, let's begin.
See, I'm you. I'm in my work.
Oh yes, Taffeta D. Yes. This. Yes. Yes.
I'm driving, and I actually feel kind of cool for once.
One of the Sugar Rush racers
Oh no.
from Wreck-It Ralph.
See, you're an accident.
Yes, she was breaking Vanellope's cart.
This entry won't take long.
Yes,
Mostly because
I think the Sugar Rush racers
for longer than I have
are
to.
jerks.
Now, Taffeta is a great example of a pure jerk. She never killed anyone, she doesn't have evil plans, she's just a little brat of a racer. Worst of all, she's got her whole crew in on it. Our much beloved Vanellope simply wants to race, and these little monsters tear her cart apart, bit by bit.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You said it, Ralph. Of course, once Taffeta's memory is restored, she's all apologetic. Well, it's too late, Taffeta. Your true colors have been shown. And you too, Candlehead. And by the way, why do you have, like, a name that's not a name like the rest? You know, never mind. Never mind.
No.
Oh, yes.
But then she doomed herself.
Yes, Hans from Frozen.
And you were dumb enough to go after her. All that's left now is to kill Elsa and bring back Summer.
Yeah. Do you just remember Hans put out the fire to keep Anna warm? I think that Hans is definitely a jerk.
Hans has princess manipulation skills like none other.
Anna, no, it's too dangerous.
It's almost like he's seen all of the Disney movies prior to Frozen, allowing him to jokingly participate in all of its conventions, in order to manipulate a much-beloved Princess Anna. He fooled her, he fooled the town, heck, he fooled me. Now you guys know from my Disney Princess list that I actually really like Hans. I think he's a pretty original and fun take on the Disney villain. And you should be sure to check out my Disney Princess list for more of this dastardly debonair prince.
Yeah.
He may start out as a likable prince, but later
On to the next
he's
jerk.
revealed to be a full-scale jerk. Even after he's got his plan pretty much secured, he adds insult to injury with this too-soon stinger.
If only there was someone out there who loved you.
Oh, you really went there, Hans. You really went there.
It may
Oh, yes.
have been
Georgette from...
but
Yes, Georgette from Oliver Company. Yeah, Georgette from Oliver Company. Yeah. Like Hans from Frozen, Georgette is a jerk. So Oliver eating cat food into George's bowl.
everything from the doorknobs down is mine!
Oh, Georgette. I see you met Oliver.
Yes.
Let us now meet one of the most self-obsessed Disney characters of all time.
Perfect isn't easy.
Georgette from Oliver and Company. She's a prize poodle who lives in the mansion where Oliver eventually finds himself. Feeling very selfishly threatened, she does not treat him very nicely on his first day. Well, that would be an understatement.
But do you happen to know out of whose bowl you're eating?
Her introductory song is all about how perfect she is and how hard it is to be so perfect. Georgette sneaks onto this list purely based on her wildly huge ego and how that impacts her behavior towards others.
Do you even know who I am?
Now, this is an example on this list of a jerk that's not exactly a bad guy.
Yeah.
And just
Georgette
makes
may be a jerk. Yeah. Like Hans from Frozen, Georgette was... When Oliver was eating cat food into George's bowl, I think I'm gonna call
not the last.
I can see you're with a straw.
yes, Sid from the first Toy Story movie.
Well, we have ways of making it talk.
Yeah, I just remember when I grew up with the first Toy Story movie.
It's Sid,
You not happy, child?
scrapping fireworks to toys and blowing them up, laughing all the while. Now, Toy Story is a weird case where you don't get a whole lot of information about many of the human characters. Not so with Sid, though. It's hard to call Sid crazy. I mean, from his perspective, he's a...
Yeah, Sid is... The reason why I call Sid a jerk, breaking toys apart, are... Ever since Woody and Sid's Mutant Toys scare Sid, I'm glad that since the Sid calls... said that Sid, the toys are actually alive, I'm glad that Sid became a garbage man in Toy Story 3.
bored, probably neglected kid blowing up toys. I mean, he doesn't know they're alive. But even still, tell me a kid blows up an action figure out of boredom, and I'll say, okay. Tell me a kid delivers an evil Bond villain speech to all of the toys that he blows up, keeps them in cages, and does strange surgeries on them, and I'm thinking we got a jerk on our hands. Lest we forget, he's not just a jerk to toys, but also to his little sister.
Geez, all better now.
Oh yes, Frollo. Yes, Frollo from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Wait a second, is Frollo a jerk?
Real love? Think, boy. Think of your mother.
Judge Claude Frollo was a tough entry for me to work out, I've got to admit. I went from not including him at all to the number 6 spot.
Excuse me.
Let me elaborate. Originally, I kind of grouped him in with the other diabolical Disney villains, your Ursulas, your Jafars, your Maleficents, to name a few of those classic villains that had these grandiose plans, none of which I would really call a jerk. But a rewatch of Hunchback made me realize Frollo really was a jerk. Of course, keeping someone locked up in it.
Yeah, I really like Hunchback of Notre Dame because it is, and Frollo is one of the best Disney villains ever. And The Hunchback of Notre Dame is one of the best Disney movies ever made.
Hour for their whole life is beyond terrible. Looking also at you, Gothel. But it really was just the way he treated Quasimodo that lands him onto this list.
When your heartless mother abandoned you as a child, anyone else would have groaned you.
He was a terrible person, a creepy, sex-crazed madman, but the things that he ingrained into Quasimodo's mind about himself, it's like a special kind of jerkness. The only reason I don't put him higher is because that being a jerk isn't what defines Frollo. Because there's plenty more to him. Plenty more. Dang, Weird Al.
Mother, did you really
Oh yes,
said?
oh yes, Cinderella's stab family. Oh yes, Cinderella's stab family. Lady Tremaine, Anastasia, and Drusilla.
I said.
I think they are jerks.
Yeah.
Evil stab family.
Lady Tremaine might just be the full incarnate of evil. How's that sound?
If you notice,
Well, I
if you notice that the actress who voiced Cinderella's stepmother, Lady Tremaine, also doing the voice for Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty.
Just please don't yell at me anymore. See what I mean? Evil. After all, she is an evil stepmother. And when an evil woman has children, you get... In fact, this spot goes to this entire family of step jerks. Of all the characters who keep someone locked up and kept down, Lady Tremaine
Yeah, there are a lot of stab people in Disney.
and her daughters do it with the least motive and most petty treatment of any others. Lady Tremaine has been responsible for more of my nightmares than any other Disney character. But beyond being totally terrifying,
I think all step
Cinderella is
I think all step people
like
are
she could
jerks.
easily be just a little bit nicer to her and still have the nice cushy life that they do. She seems to just really delight in Cinderella's misery, mostly because she isn't one of her real kids. Which brings me to these lovely angels. And don't you just love how this guy openly cringes every time he looks at them?
Your Grace.
These girls are tasting that silver spoon in their mouth so hard that they've become cruel monsters. These two are frighteningly malicious, and when jealousy is your sole motive, the outcome, I'm afraid, is 100% pure jerk. Times 2. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to go have some nightmares.
Oh yes, Cusco from the Amber's New Groove. I think I would call Cusco a... I don't think I would... I don't think I would... I don't think I wouldn't consider Cusco a jerk. He's the emperor...
He will be
since he's the emperor
Bye-bye.
of his own land.
Wait. Let's move ahead.
Cusco from the Emperor's New Groove.
You know, it seems I've been discussing a lot of Emperor's New Groove recently. But alas, can you leave Cusco off a Disney jerks list?
Nobody's that heartless.
Also,
The movie is predicated on his trip.
the scene where Yzma turning Cusco into a llama was pretty funny.
Transition from jerk to non-jerk.
I am one hungry king of the world.
But his jerk days are jerk enough to put him pretty high on this list. As I touched on with Georgette, who barely becomes a good guy by the end, you haven't got to be the most evil villain around just to be a total ass. And Cusco's reading that one loud and clear, with a seriously small regard for others beside himself, and his own theme song that he doesn't even have to sing. He's got like a little afro guy to do it for him. And of course we can't forget Cusco's most redeeming trait, his judgmental tendencies.
Yikes, yikes, yikes. And
I don't think I would count.
let me guess, you have a great personality.
Look, everybody knows Cusco was a jerk, and that's why we love him, and why we love watching him learn the error of his ways. What makes Emperor's New Groove a pretty dang cool flick.
Okay, you got it? All right, we're gonna move ahead. Sorry to slow you down.
Oh yes, the Sheriff of Nottingham from Robin Hood.
Let me give you a hand with that leg. Up, Daisy. Bingo. What they won't think of next.
Not only is Robin Hood one of my very favorite Disney movies,
Yeah.
but it's home to some
I have a lot of Robin Hood stuff in my room.
Constable Sheriff of Nottingham among them. In the Robin
Yes.
Hood story, tax collection is
The reason
but the way the
I would consider the Sheriff of Nottingham a jerk when he was stealing all the taxes in Nottingham.
Sheriff of Nottingham goes about collecting these taxes from poor families is just brutal. I mean, this guy truly loves to take the money off of these poor little critters.
Yes. Yes. The Sheriff of Nottingham was actually stealing money from poor people.
Going as far as taking a gold coin a young child receives as a birthday present.
Oh boy, one whole Barbie.
Oh, you thought that was bad? Not moments later, he steals from a blind man. And that's not even taxes, that's just open stealing. Now, Nottingham is a destitute place. Some of these poor families seem to be just hanging on by a thread. And the Sheriff of Nottingham takes everything they have. And the Crown certainly doesn't seem to be struggling financially. Exhibit A.
Yes, Prince John. Yeah.
You guys seem to always
Yeah,
get their
Prince John really loves his money.
at the very end. Not really so with the sheriff, but he does get completely destroyed by Robin Hood in an archery competition, which is more than enough for me. Did we get the air horn sound? Oh, internet's not using that one anymore, huh? Horses been beat. Okay, duly noted. Duly noted.
I want the job done tonight.
Yes.
We gotta do it.
The next one is Cruella de Vil. Yes, the next one is Cruella from 100 Dalmatians.
Drown them. Bash them in the head. I don't care how you kill the little beast, but do it! And do it now!
Yeah. Cruella de Vil from 100
Most
Dalmatians.
of us love puppies. I mean, there's
Yeah. Puppies are just so cute and adorable, aren't they?
cute. There's
Don't
a
get me-
reason they're called man's best friends. Some of us make coats out of them. Puppy coat.
Yeah, people skinning Dalmatian puppy dogs for fur coats.
The coat made out of puppies. Now, just because
Don't, Gary.
Cruella de Vil wants to
I'm really don't care. I am truly a 100 Dalmatians fan.
Puppies isn't all of what puts her in this spot. Of course, that is downright awful, but it's also just the way she treats people. For crying out loud, she puts a cigarette out in someone's cupcake. That was a perfectly good cupcake, and you ruined it.
Yeah, Cruella de Vil ruining cupcakes. I think that Cruella de Vil
guys to shame. Not to mention her attitude
is a jerk.
To behold. At least Clayton was like somewhat respectful. As for Cruella, she treats everyone around her like complete scum.
Darling, how are you?
So I guess I'm...
Her anger, she's pettiness and selfish vanity make her a total a-hole. Now, there's another great word we can use to describe this very scary lady, but for now, let's just call her a massive jerk. And you better buy that sweet woman another cupcake.
Oh yes. It's time to reveal the number one Disney jerk. Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
It's not right for a woman to read. Soon she starts getting ideas, thinking.
Gaston, you are positively primeval.
Thank you, Belle.
Yes, no one's putting in the number one spot like Gaston.
Very Disney jerk himself. Now, in this
Yep.
day and age, we can find many videos and articles that talk about how Gaston
Yes, I think that Gaston's a jerk.
really the hero of the story. What an
Yeah, the fact that the true hero of this movie is the Beast.
original and fresh idea. Whichever way you choose to look at it, his womanizing, rude arrogance shines brightly through. I mean, sure, maybe he was trying to save his town nobly from a menacing beast. But on second thought, was the beast all that menacing? He stayed in his castle and never bothered anyone in the town at all. The reality is the whole town is full of jerks. Jerks who would insult a young girl for enjoying
Yeah,
eating.
there were a lot of jerks in Disney. There were a lot of jerks. There were a lot of jerky characters in Disney.
Inventor, but all they do is sit around and get drunk and gossip and bounce their boobs off a water pump. Why is this in the movie? Having said that, Gaston truly is Disney's most beloved jerk.
I'm just full of surprises.
He's got one of the most fun villain songs out there, and the list of his jerk-like traits is about as big as his own ego. Disparaging reading and invention,
How can you read this? There's no pictures.
being an overt womanizer, constantly punching and belittling his best friend, and spouting some harsh words about a creature who's done him no harm whatsoever.
Too kind and gentle to fight back.
You would almost expect this guy to be hated, but he's just not. His love for himself is just too fun to watch. And I seriously wonder if he will ever be topped as the poster boy for Disney jerks. So here's to you, Gaston. So there we have it, guys. The top 10 Disney jerks. As always, be sure to let me know who you thought was the biggest jerk in the Disney universe. And with that, we sadly wrap up Disney month. I think it was a really good one. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. But for now, we've got Halloween just around the
Yep.
corner, so look forward to some very spooky videos on my channel.
Huh.
Okay, this is getting weird. Not even gonna ask. Okay, thanks, bye.
Oh, please. Don't listen to that Tarzan music. Anywho, that's the end of my reaction video of Disney Jerks.